Hello there, and welcome back to the Star Wars Guys YouTube channel where the Force is family. I am Master Paul.
And I am Mando on Fire.
All right, and we got another article real quick to go over with you guys. We just went over another article talking about the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, but we also had another bit of news come out today. Some arguably more exciting news that at least doesn't involve money. But anyway, so this article is from StarWars.com itself, so you know it's official. Disney Plus announces season 2 of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Now, this picture we're going to come back to because I have something to say about this, but let's go ahead and jump into the article. And Michael, why don't you read this one?
Okay, so starting up from the top. Let me put it in full screen so I can see it. Clone Force 99 will return for another mission. Today, Disney Plus announced the second season of the critically acclaimed animated series Star Wars: The Bad Batch will launch in 2022. And this is a quote, fans have enthusiastically embraced the action and drama of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. We are excited to see the Star Wars animated universe to continue to expand on Disney Plus, said Michael Paul, president of Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. As the dedicated streaming home for the Star Wars franchise, we can't wait for the second season of this fan favorite animated series. And then Dave Filoni adds the entire Lucasfilm animation team, and I would like to thank Disney and our fans for this opportunity to continue telling the story of the Bad Batch.
Okay. And then, of course, the article goes on to say just a synopsis of what's going on, talking about the Bad Batch and Omega as they find their way through a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars and the rise of the Empire. Goes over who makes it, and so on and so forth. So we're going to put the article away for now. So before we get into what I had to say about that picture, what do you think about the fact that we are officially getting Bad Batch Season 2?
So I believe that one of two things can happen. One, we can start getting more answers to the questions that we've been asking for all season long, especially with the amount of filler episodes that we've had. Or they could introduce newer questions that they're going to have to answer in a possible season 3 now. Of course, season 3 is all but it's speculated at this point, or just a dream at this point. But
Yeah.
I could see it going either way.
Yeah, I could too. So overall, you think the fact that we're getting Season 2 is a good thing?
Yes.
Yes, and I would agree with that also. Though I will say I'm a little bit surprised because I remember hearing somewhere, I can't remember where exactly, that initially the Bad Batch was just supposed to be a one-off series. But I guess either due to popularity or needing or finding more stories to tell or not being able to tell the story within one season, they decided to go ahead and do a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, at least for me, and I know a bunch of people are going to have very different opinions on this, but for me, knowing that we're getting a season 2 now, somewhat it makes all the filler episodes that we got in season 1 in hindsight just a little bit more tolerable, knowing that they at least have more episodes to tell their story now.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that I want season 2 to be chock full of filler like season 1 was. What do you think?
Yeah. I could also see it going in the same pattern as The Mandalorian, where season 1, if we were to look at it at somewhat of an objective point of view, had a little bit more filler than the second season. And
Yep.
then the second season was more about tying up loose ends that the first season had, but also at the same time leading up to something in the next season. So,
Yeah, and
assuming
it's
that Dave Filoni is going to follow the same trend of success that The Mandalorian did, I can see that happening.
right. And here's the thing, it's funny you say that because before we sat down to record these videos, I was in the chat on X-Wing's channel a little bit earlier watching the Boomer Council, and it was either Mr. Two Star Wars Nerds or Star Wars Obsession. One of them brought up the fact that, we really don't talk about it that much, but Mando had some filler episodes too. Specifically, like episodes, I'd say 5 and 6 of season 1. Like, actually, no, I wouldn't say necessarily 6 because that was the one that Miggs Mayfield was introduced in, and he kind of did come back. So that one's slightly less of a filler episode in my book. But episode 5, if it weren't for the fact that Fennec Shand, comes back, that would be a filler episode. And of course, in season 2, the season 2, episode 2, the one where they're on that ice planet, that for sure was a filler episode.
Mm-hmm. And also the fact that the figure that was standing over Fennec's body was Boba Fett before he got his armor back.
Yes. So I guess what I'm ultimately saying here, and what the Boomer Council was saying, is we criticized the Bad Batch as hard as we did for having filler episodes, when the truth is The Mandalorian, which pretty much everyone likes, pretty much had the same episode structure, where it would have 1 or 2 episodes that are super important in the beginning, and then some filler in the middle, and maybe 1 or 2 episodes during that to keep you interested until it built to a big finale. So I guess, it's not that bad, at least for me, but I know that there's going to be people that are going to disagree with me on that. And of course, this is all realizing this through hindsight. But anyways, getting back to what I wanted to talk about with the picture in this article. So let's bring it back. And I'm going to, let me see if I can. Okay, so I'm gonna lose the article because I was able to open the picture up in a new tab. So I'm gonna pull that up so we can get a good view of it. All right, so there's the picture. And look who's right here next to Hunter. He's not off to the side, sulking like a villain. He's not looming over them like a villain like Palpatine was in the Bad Batch Season 1 poster. He's right next to him. And yes, to be fair, this is him before he got messed up by that ship's engine blasting back on him, burning his face. But I don't think that this is a mistake that they chose to put Crosshair here after we've already seen in the show him leave the Bad Batch, hunt them down, try and do terrible things to them. I think this could potentially be a spoiler, basically them confirming that at the end of season 1, which we only have 2 episodes left, one of those is coming tomorrow, that between now and the official season 1 finale, we are going to see Crosshair get redeemed. So what do you think, Michael? And I'm going to end the comments too. What do you guys think? Am I reading too much into this, or do you think there could be something here?
Well, I want to say it's hard to say, just because this is just a teaser image, and to almost play here the side, I could almost say that maybe it is just an image, but I see what you mean. But I do believe that if they're going to try to redeem Crosshair, that they should do it slow. Just because, for all we know, Crosshair for sure got burned in his face. He had to lose his hair, and he still has that scarring near where his chip is. And there is speculation where his chip could be potentially fried and been playing double agent all this time. But I almost want to say that they're going to do something similar to that of Agent Callus from Rebels. Now, you probably haven't seen this now, have you?
I know what happens.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it.
Okay, so just for context and for people who have been living under a rock, basically what happens with Agent Callus is that he was originally with the ISB, and he was pretty much arch rivals with Zeb, because he was part of like the Lasat unaliving, let's just say. And so what happens is that there's an episode where they basically put the two of them together in a situation that they force each other to survive off
I
of each
did
other.
I did see that episode.
And then in season 3, when Thrawn appears, there's Agent Callus then undertakes the alias of Fulcrum from Ahsoka and feeds information to the rebels from the Empire, but eventually gets caught. But you see, what happens is that it wasn't immediate, almost like a come to Jesus moment, as Dad would say.
Right.
There was that idea planted in his head that made him kind of reconsider and reflect on his actions.
Right. And I could certainly see where you're coming from with that. But the way I see it, the Bad Batch, we've already had a complete season of the Bad Batch without Crosshair. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that without Crosshair, the Bad Batch feels incomplete, like something's missing. And I think it would be a great way to end season 1 by having Crosshair return to the Bad Batch, and they go into season 2 a united force. Now, maybe sure there could still be some tension, some awkwardness between Crosshair and the rest of the Bad Batch for, let's face it, how much of a butt he had been in season 1. But I don't know. I'm ready to see Crosshair. I've been ready to see Crosshair get redeemed. So, anything else you want to share with this, Mike?
I really can't think of anything else, but if he does get redeemed, then he is going to have a lot of dramatic changes to his character.
I think he will. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I haven't mentioned anything in a pre-recorded video, but check out our TikTok accounts too, because we both lately have started getting into Jedi cosplay. I have a suit now, and then I gave Michael an old suit that I had that no longer fits me. He did something with that the other day, so check that out.
Yep. We also have an Instagram, finally.
We
It
do.
is at the Star Wars Guys Official, and pretty much all the spaces are underscores, so it's easy to remember.
Yep. And Michael mostly this way. Michael mostly runs that, but I do post stuff on there from time to time. I'm barely on Instagram though. But anyways, though, we are going to go ahead and cut this video here. So again, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, the Force is family. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm going to beat you, Mexican Iron.